In this video, I'm going to learn you through how to calculate the volume of the frustum. So we have two situations here. We have frustum A and frustum B. How do you then calculate the volume of the frustum? So we are going to look at these two examples. So to start with, what you need to know is that the frustum is a shape that was cut from a certain shape. Now, depending with the frustum. So in the first one, this one was cut from the cone. So the first frustum here that you are seeing was cut from the cone. Okay? A solid shape that was cut. It was a cone. Now, a cone, it has the base and of course the height. So the base, which has a radius, so the base part of the cone has a radius, r, and the height. So this is how the cone looks like. Now, take note that in order for you to find the volume of the cone, which formula do you use? 1/3 pi r square multiply height. Now, you want to find the volume of the frustum. Here you are not interested in finding the volume of the cone. You are interested in finding the volume of the frustum. Now, you cannot calculate the volume of the frustum without getting through the original shape of the shape that you are given. So this shape that we are given, it was a cone. It was just sliced here on top. Okay, it was just sliced here on top. So in order for you to start the calculations, picture the whole shape that was cut before, or the shape before it was cut. So this shape before it was cut, it had a height from down here up to the top there. But what is remaining is just 9. So for you to find this whole height, there's an extension here. Let us put this one x. So for you to find h, which is height, you need to add 9 plus this x. So this one gives us the complete height. Okay, so this information, very important. Now, afterward, which means for you to calculate the volume, you need the height and the radius, pi is given. So now where do we go next? The next thing, having established that this was the full shape, and is that the height, for us to find the height, we need to add the 9 that is there plus x, the part that was removed. Okay? So now, what are we going to do in order for us to find x? Because here we have a task now to find x. How do we find x? So for us to find x, we are going to form a ratio of the radius. I'll put big radius for this big circle down here to the small radius, the top part here. Also, the ratio of the height of the big one, which is the whole height from the down up to the top there, to the radius of, to the height of the small cone that was sliced here on top. Okay, the one that was removed. It also had the base, the radius, which is the small radius, and this height, which is x. Okay, so now how do you put it in the equation? So you are going to have big radius divide small radius, big radius divide big height, then small radius divide small height, which is the one we've put x. Now remember where this height, big height, we said is 9 plus x, and this x we do not know. Okay, so now for radius, small radius and big radius, we can pick them from the diagram. We have the bottom part here, which is the 12, is the whole diameter. You know that a radius is just 2 radii makes a diameter. So for you to find the radius here, you are going to divide the diameter by 2. And therefore the big radius is 6 meter. Divide the small radius, or divide the height, where there's h, we put 9 plus x. So let's just put numbers here. So is equals to the small radius Here on top, the diameter is 8, so the small radius is 4. Divide, what is the small height? X. When we cross multiply here, we are going to have 6x is equals to 9, that is 4 outside, is equals to 4 multiply 9 plus x. This one multiplying we are going to have, so this one multiplying we are going to have 6x is equals to 4 multiply 9, that is 36, plus 4 multiply x is 4x. Remember, we want to find x, which is the small height, so that we can add to the big height, or we can add to 9 to come up with a big height. So let me go back here and clean just this part. So now we continue with this one. So at this point we have this expression, 6x is equals to 36 plus 4x. Now what we do, you collect the like terms, 6x minus 4x, since 4, the additive inverse of 4 here is negative 4x, and also this side to subtract negative 4x is equals to 36. Here you have 2x is equals to 36. Finding the value of x, we divide 2. So therefore x is equals to 18. We found 18 as x. So this x is the small height, okay, the small height h. Then now, for us to find the big height, we said we add x. So therefore the big height is equals to 9 plus 18. And this gives us 27, okay? So this is the big height that we need. Remember, we want to find the volume of the frustum. So at this point, what information do we have? So at this point, we have the information that we have. We have the small height. We have the small height. So the small height we have to be 18 meter. Then the big height we have it to be 27 meter. Then what else do we have? Pi we have. So now what we are going to do next is that for us to find the volume of the frustum, which is this shape that remained, we need to find the volume of the whole shape minus the volume of this small frustum on top that was cut, or this small piece that was cut. So we need to find the volume. So in order for us to find the volume of the frustum, we need to look at the volume of the whole shape, the cone, minus the small cone that is on top there. So the volume of the cone, we said, is this one, the formula. So we are going to start by finding the volume of the big cone. How do you find it? So volume of a big cone, 1 over 3. What is the pi? Pi is 3.142. Multiply, what is our radius? So radius we are going to use for the big one, since we are finding for the whole. So we are going to put 6 here. What is the height? Height we are going to put for the big one, that is 27. If we multiplying this one, what are we going to get if we are to multiply? So if we are to multiply this one, we are going to get 1000. So this is our V1, volume 1 of the big frustum, 1018. So please confirm, okay, 1018, that is what we've gotten, 0.0, it's a volume meter cubed, okay, that is the volume of the big one. Then volume 2 of the small one, how are we going to get the small one? So volume 2, half, we are finding the volume of the small cone that was cut here on top, and it has a height of, small height, 18. The pi, we still use the same. Radius, we said is 4 on top here. So we are going to have pi 3.142 multiply, what is the radius? 4. So 4 square. So here 6 is 6 square, please. 4 square. Then here we have what is the height? The height that we found is 18. So if you multiply everything here, volume 2, you are going to find it to be 301.6, Okay, 0.6 0.6 meter square or meter cubed, 0.6 meter cubed. So confirm the volumes that we found. So now after we found these volumes, what are we going to do? We are going to subtract volume 2 from volume 1. Okay, so volume 2 minus volume, that is volume 1. So in order for us to find the volume of the frustum, we subtract volume 1 minus volume 2. What is volume 1? So volume 1 was 1000, that is 1018.0 minus, what is volume 2? 301.6. So if you subtract this one, you are going to have the answer 716.4 meter cubed. So confirm this one. Okay, so that is how you simply find